your responsibility, how you need to approach as a distance learner, right? So for this, we'll have a detailed presentation later, and after which we'll have an open session where you can put forward queries related to academics and other issues as well, right? So before we commence and before I introduce to you my program coordinators, I have Siddharth Uladar. He is the program coordinator of management program, that is MBA. And I also have with me Mrs. Padma Keshi. She'll be handling non-management courses, that is apart from MBA, all right? So before we start, I would also like to thank you for making it despite your busy schedules and this road being under construction. So thank you so much for coming.
The MBA program. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to ICA. The main objective of today's session is to orient you about ICA and IGNO, learning activities and methodologies that we use, rules and regulations of the university and partner institution, operation calendar, and other relevant information. But before we get into the core issues, I would like to share what open and distance learning is all about. Well, open and distance learning, or ODL, it's basically an arrangement that enables a person to learn at their own pace, place, and time, which satisfies their circumstances and requirements. It's basically designed to overcome the traditional barriers created through geographical isolation, personal commitments, professional commitments, age, which hinders a person from continuing with their academic endeavors, and which cannot be overcome through traditional colleges and universities. Well, about open and distance learning, Nepal is the only country in the South region which still does not have an open university, and it's still a new concept in Nepal. And being a new concept, there are some myths and misconceptions about open and distance learning, which are, it's easy and it does not provide challenges. Well, it's a myth because the biggest challenge you'll be facing is time management. You'll have to manage time with your professional life, academic life, and personal life as well. Another myth is the early interaction with the faculty. It's true to some extent because we don't offer regular classes like other traditional colleges. However, it can be overcome through other mediums like Skype or email or even a telephone call to the counselor. About ICA, ICA is the first partner institution of IGNO in Nepal. We have been offering the courses of IGNO since 2002. The centers of IGNO inside India, they're called study centers, whereas the centers outside India, they're called partner institutions. And we are designated by a unique partner institution code, which is 9602. Currently, we are running around 43 courses ranging from diploma to master's level in various streams. And our center is approved by Ministry of Education, Government of Nepal. We are also a member of Asian Association of Open Universities, AAOU. And being a member of AAOU, you'll be getting opportunities to present papers at various international conferences in Asia. For instance, a learner of ICA, Mr. Prakash Bhandari, recently presented a paper on application of open and distance learning in management science, which was held in the 27th AAOU conference, Islamabad, Pakistan. So you'll be getting similar opportunities. Besides that, about our track record, till date we have produced 8 university gold medalists in various streams who competed with students from all over the world and were awarded with gold medal for their efforts. These are some of their pictures. Our center itself has been awarded the Best Overseas Partner Institution twice, once in 2010 and 2013, among 82 partner institutions in 43 countries. And the citation, gold medal and citation was provided in the 22nd and 26th convocation of the university. Recently, ICA has been awarded as the Best Business School in Distance Mode by New Business Age Group. About IGNO, IGNO is the world's largest university in terms of admissions. Currently, there are 4 million learners associated with IGNO worldwide. Currently, it offers over 1,500 courses, and the books are the study materials provided by IGNO. It has been awarded by Commonwealth of Learning Canada for excellence for distance education materials. Currently, there are 82 international study centers of IGNO in 43 countries and 3,000 study centers in India. So, for instance, if you have to leave country, then you need not sacrifice your study for that. You can continue your study with any of these 82 international study centers or 3,000 study centers if you are in India. The visitor of the university is President of India and is the highest authority of the university. Talking about degrees issued by IGNOU, it's recognized worldwide, and in Nepal it's recognized by Kathmandu University, Tribhuvan University, and University Grants Commission. These are some of the documents which state the validity of degrees issued by IGNOU, so you need not worry about the credibility of the degree issued by IGNOU. Talking about our functions, what we do is we do pre-admission counseling, which is done through our support department, which I believe almost all of you took before getting the admissions. We organize induction meetings, just like this one, for our new learners. We distribute books or self-learning materials. We organize counseling sessions or theory classes. We provide library facilities. We handle the assignments. We receive it from you, get it evaluated, and return it to you. And we do facilitate resources for projects and dissertations. There are some terminologies that you need to be familiar with while you are enrolled in IGNOU. For instance, there are 2 academic sessions in a year, January session and July session. Usually January session is called first semester and July session is called second semester. Books, we call them self-learning materials. The assignments which you will be submitting, they're called tutor mark assignments or TMA. The examinations which you will be writing, they're called common examinations or TEE. Partner institution, PI, our PI code 9602. The admit card which you will have to carry during examinations, they're called hall ticket. Besides that, each program of the IGNOU falls under specific program code. For instance, the MBA program falls under management program, MP, and each subject of each program has a unique code. For instance, MS2 designates management of human resource. So different programs have different codes like this one. And all of these things will be used in academic counseling routine, exam forms, hall ticket, almost everything. Here you can specialize in human resource management, operations management, marketing management, and financial management. And finally, you will be awarded with the MBA degree. MBA program, altogether there are 21 courses, including a thesis, which counts as 2 courses. And this program can be completed in 2.5 years, which can be elongated up to 8 years. In a semester, you can register up to 4 courses, and once a course is registered, it's valid up to 2 years, which means that you can sit for exams 4 times. And let's say if you are not able to complete your course within this 2-year time period, you'll have to do the re-registration in that specific course only by paying the requisite fees.
These are a few names in non-management programs to name, that is Masters of Tourism, Management and TM. Masters of Arts in English, MEG, and Masters of Arts Sociology, Masters of Computer Application, BCom, BCM, BTS. The detail about the computer application presentation will be given to you after my presentation by the computer lab in charge. Talking about the credit system, each credit amounts to 30 hours of study, comprising of all your learning activities. It means that you have to write your assignments, you have to submit your reports, you have to appear for the term and examination. All those activities come under the learning activities. And then each credit, 6 credit involves 180 hours of the studies. The main reason of this is that it will help the learner to understand the academic effort that one has to put in order to get a successful, in order to get a degree. Online study materials, real-time chat with academic counselors, screen broadcast, where you will be having the recorded videos will be uploaded to the website. Faculties and the students will have an interaction with the academic counselors. Basically, these are held on Saturdays. That you have to come in the counseling sessions on Saturdays, and you have to fulfill those duties on Saturdays in the counseling sessions. In case of cancellation of classes on Saturdays, those will be held on weekdays after office hours, after 5:30 only. Once the routine has been declared, and it will be uploaded in the website, and you will be pre-notified via email, SMS, and call for the cancellation of the classes. Otherwise, you have to follow the schedule that is available in the routine. that has been given in the routine. Talking about the evaluation system that university follows, there are 3 evaluation systems that university follows. It's just an example. For management program, you may be writing the project for MS 100. And for non-management program, taking example of component for you to submit an assignment before you appear for term and examination. It carries 30% weightage towards your final grade, and make sure that you are attaching question paper also on it when you submit the assignment. And you can also submit handwritten assignment, or it can be computer typed as well. Download from the website and submit the assignments to your partner institution. Assignments are evaluated by the university approved evaluators. And as I already told, that submission of assignment is mandatory to appear for the term and examination. Before you appear for the examination, you have to compulsory submit your assignments. And many of you are in a yearly program as well. Its deadline will be 31st of October. By 31st of October, you have to submit your assignments. But make sure that you have retained courier receipt with you to avoid any discrepancies in future. Also, I would like to tell you that you have to produce that acknowledgement slip. So it is compulsory or mandatory for you all to retain the acknowledgement slip with you, your assignment. This will be applicable for all management program as well as non-management program. And learners will be free to appear at any of the examinations provided that minimum period of study prescribed for the relevant course or program has elapsed. TEE are held under the overall supervision of Indian Embassy. As you from grad level, make sure that you are writing the code 9601, and if you are writing the examination from class 2. Learners intending to appear for TEE are required to fill up the examination form. The result of your examination will be published within 3 months. And after 2 months, tentatively by the end of the February, you will be receiving your enrollment card and applicable for all the programs. This is just an example. So, what will be the eligibility to attain TEE? Any dues pending in your study center. This is in first year, or if you are in first semester, make sure that for next year or for next semester you have registered. That is called the re-registration, that you have to register for the next year or semester. The other information that you should be knowing is the transfer facility. Learners can seek transfer to any of the ET2 international study centers in 43 countries and 3,000 study centers in India by paying transfer fees as prescribed by the university and fulfilling the necessary requirements. And the other services, learner can seek the other services like submission of TMA, project or dissertation from any IGNOU centers by paying value-added services charges as prescribed by university only on special conditions. And change of program is not allowed. Suppose you have enrolled for MBA program and you would request to change your program to NTM or sociology, that is not permitted, that is not allowed by the university. Talking about the refund of fees, it's not refundable under any circumstances, but it is also not adjustable against any of the programs of the university. However, in case only the university denies to take your admission, then only it will be refunded. The list of information from you can have access of information is from the project guide and the prospectus. Make sure that you have collected the project guide or prospectus with the study materials when you come to our library to collect the study materials. And from our website, ICA website, you can also, for any information, you can just email us in the email ID that is given here. And from the semester web service, from our notice board, you can also have the information by calling us in the number that is being given here. And also through the online contacts from our Facebook and Skype ID as well. Computer application courses, I would request our computer lab in charge, Praveen Adhikari, to talk about the computer application. I request Praveen sir, please sir.
I am computer lab faculty in charge in the National Center for Academics, ICA.
So I'm talking about the practical component for MCA, BCA and CIT programs. Practical classes are a little bit strict. We have 2 sessions, one evening at 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. and one at morning sessions, that is 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Remember that currently students cannot choose the timing. I mean, study center will decide which groups will take the classes at morning sessions and which group will take the classes at evening sessions. We have some norms. The computer to learner ratio will be 1:2. That is prescribed by the university. That means 2 students may get a single computer. But we have the computers. Generally, we provide a single computer for single learners, but that is not mandatory. The rule is 1:2. A counselor or an instructor will be there to guide you, to suggest you. It's just a help. You should not think that he will teach you completely. You have to do self-study a lot. Learners are required to prepare a separate handwritten or printed lab report for each lab course code, and the sheets should be submitted in each lab sessions. That means if you are attending a lab sessions on Monday, then when you come for the next lab sessions, you have to bring a separate lab report for individual course code that will be duly signed by the instructor or counselor there. Lots of self-study is required to gain knowledge more. So rules. Learners required to strictly follow the guidelines given in the lab manuals, program guide for respective lab courses. 75% of the total lab conducted is mandatory to attend in TOM-IN practical examination. Remember that this is not TOM-IN examination, this is TOM-IN practical examination. That means to appear for the TOM-IN practical examination, you have to fulfill 75% of the total lab conducted. You have to attend that. Now, separate handwritten or printed lab report for each lab course must be submitted. That is mandated. These 2 rules are very much mandatory within deadlines. And how we submit the lab reports will be given to you later. It is just like you submit the assignments of other courses. Re-registrations of this is for lab component only. That means if a student fails or he didn't attend or he is not eligible for the TOM-IN practical examination, then he or she need to appear for the practical classes again. That we say the re-registrations of lab component. So the criteria for the re-registrations is if they fail or fulfill prescribed attendance requirements, or if they didn't submit the lab report, or if they fail to appear in the TOM-IN practical examinations, or if they fail by marks. I mean, if they didn't get the pass marks at least. And for the eligible and ineligible students, we send informations. I mean, we segregate the separate list and distribute the informations to all the learners. Later, I would like to request our Chief Academic Consultant, Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary, to continue this induction.
Welcome to the induction meeting. I mean, you must have already been welcomed anyway. You had already an overview of the whole functioning here. So my purpose is not to go into the nitty-gritty. They know much better than me as far as the nitty-gritty is concerned. My purpose is today to just bring forth this basic point that often in distance learning education, there are certain misperceptions.
Excuse me.
How do I? Yeah. Oh, it's not working.
It's working. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is not on.
Hello.
Thank you, Padmaji. My purpose today is to talk basically on, I mean, you must have thought over it, that's why you have taken admissions and all is fine. But even after admission, there are certain misperceptions and all. I would like to handle that. One. Second, I have been all throughout my life associated with full-time education. I mean, all throughout my education life, I have two lives. One is as a media person and one as an educationist. In education, I have been associated with full-time education usually, whether it was as Dean of Symbiosis International University in Pune for 7 long years, or for 3 years as the Dean of Whistling Woods International, which is an institute in Mumbai. In all these full-time education, we all know, you are aware, you are all working people mostly, you have to give a substantial amount of time to that education, 7 or 8 hours a day, and for 5 to 6 days a week depending on the institute and the rules. And there are 75–80% attendance rules. Apart from that, there is a large number of commitment with respect to day-to-day activities. So while it's very good, it's necessary, and it will remain as a mainstream education in the society, but interestingly, in more than 90 countries of the world, an alternative education is coming up. And that alternative education is catching up quite fast. And the fact that Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, has already 41 lakhs of students. 41 lakhs of students. I mean, the number itself is mind-blowing. There is no university in the world, a full-time university, which can even think of half of that number. Forget 41. So this is only one university. More than 90 countries of the world have distance learning universities. And I must also mention here that in the SAARC nations, it is only Nepal and Maldives which does not have distance learning university. It's already there in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh. Bhutan also doesn't have. Most Sri Lanka, most of these nations, I mean all of these nations, other nations, already have distance learning universities there. Why is it necessary? A large number of people, particularly in Nepal context I must say, a large number of people join the employment force or workforce early in their lives. Because of many reasons, family reasons, economic conditions, and also opportunities that you get as a young person. I am really impressed. I also go to 2 media houses here as a consultant. And I find from receptionist onwards to everyone working, a large number of them are studying in the morning and working after 11 o'clock. They're studying from 6 o'clock till 11 and working after 11 o'clock till 7 o'clock, 8 hours. So they're practically doing 2 things. I make it as an example, and in fact once I actually recorded voices of such young people and showed it in an Indian university. That see, my audience was elder to them, the people whom I recorded. They are younger and they are already in 2 things. Morning 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock studying, and 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock working. I mean, it's a fabulous thing. You are earning and you are studying, you are value adding to yourself and also earning productively. This has been a necessity in Nepal in a big way, and this has been a culture as well in recent times, more so. Large number of BBA MBA students or any other master students are also working, a good number of them, if not all. One is that, the other point I wanted to mention here is that many people who join the workforce early in lives could not pursue higher educations for many reasons. And therefore, the necessity of a distance mode of education is very strong here. Also, people who are who are working cannot obviously give 6 days, 5 days a week, cannot give the productive hours of the day, which is from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And that's where the distance education comes. While it is very good to have distance education at your own time and at your own place, and at your own pace, speed. But there are challenges as well, and we'll come to the challenges later. So, why open and distance learning helps? It brings in education for a large section of people who are otherwise not being able to avail of the regular education, mainstream education. But this point has to be understood very clearly. This does not mean the distance education is any inferior. And that's the point you have to understand today very well. If that is the thinking, that it's an easy education, we can manage the MBA fast, we can manage the masters in rural development or anything fast, then you are in for a shock. Because the rules and regulations which you are told by Siddharth and Padmaji earlier, Siddharthji and Padmaji, they are very strictly monitored because we are under a system of the university. And please understand, I must mention here, while there are many strengths of IGNOU which I will talk about later on, I must also mention because it has got 41 lakhs of students, it does not budge from its rules even once. It does not budge. Deadline is deadline, you can't help it. There are hundreds of students who are studying in ICA who are doing these projects, the compulsory projects in masters, and many a time several projects have been returned, rejected twice, thrice as well. Many a time it has happened. And many a time, now as she was just now she was telling, I was hearing that you can submit your assignments handwritten and also typed. University regularly objects to 50% or sometimes even more because they are downloaded from somewhere and just printed. Just printed. And 16 students have given the same content with the name of the person changed, not even the headline changed. And please do not understand that this is a way to do this. Education is a shortcut to the thing. I do understand we are all working. I'm doing PhD myself alongside my entire work in India and Nepal. And it's tough, I do agree, but I do have to appear on regular basis before the university and submit progress reports. So one has to go through the whole process. You cannot really...
Again, I'm Buddhival from Pokhara. When I heard about this ICA, let's say ICA now, and I share with some of my friends, and they are very eager to know more about it and join very recently. I think a couple of days back, I met 3 of my friends, and they said, "Can we join right now?" And I said, "I don't know. As far as I know, I think not. I think from July session. What about the comment on it from your side?"
Yeah, to someone use option.
Okay.
That is the deadline for this session.
Up to 31 December.
Yes. But this admission will be considered for January session line. But even if after this, after 31st, you can take admissions, but that will be considered only for July intake.
So it's clear, up to 31st December 12 noon,
yes,
you can take admissions for January, and from 1st January you can take admissions for July.
So Adam, you basically cost of that. It's a working concept for you. You walk in, right? But it has to be your working days, and working day, working hours, working hours with all your documents. You take admissions. The only thing is, do you admission already भन्नुभएको थियो हाम्रो सरले प्रेजेन्टेसनमा जनवरी सेसनमा हुन्छ जुलाई सेसनमा हुन्छ तर जनवरी सेसनमा एडमिसन गर्नुको निमित्त तपाई जनवरीमै आएर चाहिँ गर्ने हो त्यो त प्रायर आउनु पर्यो राइट त्यस्तै लाइकवाइज जनवरी क्रस गर्नुभयो भने हामी एडमिसन लिन्छौं तर त्यो के को लागि हुन्छ जुलाईको लागि हुन्छ सो बेसिकली वक इन हो अब आउनुहोस् आफ्नो साइटमा हेर्ने कुन प्रोग्राम्स इन्ट्रेस्टेड हुनुहुन्छ त्यो आएर डिटेल्स लिएर यु क्यान टेक एडमिसन्स वी आर ओपन 12 months नै राइट कतिबेला तपाईको टेक्निकली अब तपाईको मोबाइल नम्बर चेन्ज नै होला अरे एटलिस्ट इमेल गरिदिनुस् हामीलाई राइट अनि हेर्नुस् मिडियम्स अनेस्टली आई टेल यु मी बिङ अ सीईओ हामी कम्युनिकेसनमा एकदमै ध्यान दिन्छौं वी आर रियली सिरियस भन्छु एउटा कुरा हामी सबैलाई भन्नुस् हामी तपाईको फोन कल्स गर्छौं वेबमा हामी राखिदिन्छौं सोशल साइट्समा वी मेल यु अब घरमा गएर मात्रै भन्ने बाँकी छ बट डिस्पाइट दैट वी रिसीभ आई फिल रियली sad I was not informed. Come on, you should be serious.
I can understand his pain because if people say I was not informed, come on. One can take a horse to the water, one can't make it drink it.